Yeah.
Be right at home.
Thank you. Is that your support too? I'll let you keep that then. That's why Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How
Good. Good.
How's things going?
Good.
Busy, but yeah, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I'm coming out for years right now, so it's a fabulous position to be
You're
in.
not out there driving it.
No.
How are you?
The time is 7 p.m. The date is Thursday, January 4th, 2023, and the regular council session is called to order. Roll call, Laura. Roger, can you take roll call? Somebody.
Sure, we'll give it a go at this, roll call. Start with Bob and go around.
Hey,
Here.
Junior, you just say this.
Here.
Mayor Gillen present.
Don't come on, President.
John Harvey present.
All right, thank you. We're all present tonight. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and rearrange the agenda a little bit. We have our city attorney here tonight, and he is going to be on the topic of our charter review. So in the light of saving some dollars, we don't bother him for a long period of time. I am going to move him, who was under number 10. Let me see. Who was that? Kind of the wrong one. Oh, he was under number 10B, and I'm going to move 5 to 10, and I'm going to make him 5A. Okay? Do you have that listed? Ed, will that work for you?
Yes, it will, and thank you. I do believe it makes sense to not have me sit through the whole meeting if not needed.
Thanks, we'll have to see. Okay, we're going to move on to public comment. Number 4, this is a business meeting of the City Council. The city values and welcomes public input on matters of city concern. Please address the council as a whole rather than an individual council member or city staff. Council action on items brought up in the public comment is limited by the Oregon Public Meeting Law. The council may direct staff to study the matter and reschedule for further consideration at a later date. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person with an optional 2 minutes for council questions and answers. If you wish to address the council, we will ask you to please come forward to the podium and identify yourself for the record. Further, if anybody in this room, whether it be staff or council or any of you, feel disparaged by someone in any way, you have the right to get up and just go. I will not stop the meeting or what the person might be saying. So now that you have that right, if you want to be called back after it, go like this and I'll know to stop and get you back, okay? So, I'm gonna get my timer and then I'll say go. Hold on. Please introduce yourself, name and address.
My name is Sandra Foote Gregory, and I live at 680 Douglas Avenue in Jervis, Oregon. And I'd like to talk to you about something I'd like to see for our Christmas next year. And I'd like to share this with you so you can see what I'm talking about. And I'll get up, walk around, and share with you what I want to talk about. So I'll take a little more.
We'll give you as long as it keeps you to time.
What did you say?
We're gonna give you that time back.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Almost out. Okay, thank you.
Would you like to read what it says so everyone knows what we see?
What I would like to see is for us to have a real Christmas tree for our Christmas out here for this next year, if that's at all possible. Also, I would like to add something to our regular Christmas. I would like to see a Christmas and a memorial tree, if that is at all possible. I'd like to see it run from December 1st to December 31st. And what I'd like to see is the live tree for Christmas. And Jervis have a Jervis commemorative Christmas tree. And the tree would be filled with ornaments brought by Jervis families in memory of their loved ones. And each ornament would receive a small brass tag, like I've shown in the picture, that would be by the city. And people would put a name on, would put a name on what their ornament that they bring in and who it's for. So if there's a discussion, I'd love to hear your ideas, how you feel about this.
Well, it is public comment. We usually don't comment a lot. So you know what? I'm going to make a comment on it during mayor's comments at the end. Moving on, anyone else? Thank you for coming.
My name is Brian Wagner. I live at 166 East Hemlock Drive here in Gervais, Oregon. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members of the council and fellow citizens, I stand before you today, actually sitting, to express concerns regarding the current state of our city's leadership and the recent decisions that have raised eyebrows in our community. It is crucial for us as engaged citizens to address these matters with a spirit of accountability and transparency. While we appreciate the mayor's efforts to manage our city during this interim period, the extended tenure of a temporary city manager raises questions about the urgency of securing permanent leadership. The community values stability, and a prompt resolution to this matter would undoubtedly contribute to our collective well-being. The voters decided long ago that this is how they want things ran, and if we respect democracy, we must respect that decision. Furthermore, it is essential to address the recent appointments to key positions within our city. The public trusts in a fair and impartial hiring process that prioritizes qualifications and merit. Any perception of favoritism or nepotism erodes the trust we placed in our local government. Twice now, this council and the mayor has had the opportunity to fill paying jobs. And both times the jobs were given to a very close friend. Looking ahead, as the mayor proposes a charter change with the council's permission that consolidates hiring and firing powers and gives these powers to her and them, we must carefully consider the potential implications. Such a shift in authority requires thorough scrutiny to ensure that it serves the greater good and not the individual interest it seems to currently serve. The mayor will tell you how this change will bring back power to the citizens. The council probably will also. But when they exercise their power, they didn't ask the citizens. They made the decision to hire a close friend on their own without the citizens' input. Transparency and checks and balances are the cornerstone of a healthy democracy, and we urge our elected officials to prioritize these principles in any decision-making process. In conclusion, let's collectively uphold the values of fairness, transparency, and accountability in our city's governance. As active participants in our community, we look forward to continued dialogue and collaboration to ensure that our local government remains a true reflection of the people it serves. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming in. Have a nice evening. Do you have anybody else?
Please.
Right, for the record, my name is Douglas Lanfear, 940 Winfield Street Northeast, Jervis, Oregon, 97026. Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and City staff. I hope you all had an enjoyable holiday season and Happy New Year to each and every one of you. As we gather here today, I am reminded of the passage of time and the progress that has been made together over the past year. It has been exactly 1 year since I first stood before this council to share my thoughts and concerns in public comment. It has been an honor to be part of the dialogue that shapes our city's future. As we embark on this new year, I find it fitting to express my gratitude to the City Council and my neighbors for their dedication and hard work in making Jervis a better place. The past year has seen us face recall challenges, celebrate victories, and come together as a community. I have witnessed the resilience and spirit of Jervis, and it fills me with hope for the future. In reflecting upon the journey of the past year, I am compelled to draw your attention to a matter close to my heart, one that I believe merits the City Council's collective focus over the coming months. My concern is over the city's charter, a foundational document that outlines the principles and guidelines for our governance. The charter has undergone significant changes in the 2012 election that some in our community find concerning. As we move forward into the new year, I urge all of us to consider the importance of restoring the city charter to its pre-2012 status. This is not a call to erase progress, but rather a plea to ensure that the values and foundations that have made Jervis a great place to live are preserved for future generations. Let us engage in open, respectful dialogue to understand the implications of these changes and work collaboratively towards a solution that best serves the interest of our community. In conclusion, let this new year be a testament to our shared commitment to the betterment of Jervis. I look forward to another year of collaboration, growth, and positive change. May our collective efforts propel us towards a future that upholds the values that makes Jervis a unique and wonderful place to live and call home. In response to other public comments today, Jervis cannot rely upon a single person, a city manager to run our city. We need a collaborative effort of the citizens of this city, and the city manager is not a resident of this city. Thank you again, and Happy New Year to you all.
Thank you for coming in. Anyone else? Have a hand out there. Did you want to comment? What's your name? I can't see what that says. Is it SM Garrett? SM Guest.
Name is Susie Marston. I reside in Kaiser. Couple quick comments. I echo the comments made by Mr. Wagner. I too am concerned why the council has not had a discussion in the past 6 months of hiring a permanent city manager. I am also concerned why there's a push to place a charter change on the ballot when it's aligned to the city's goals. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments. Thanks for attending, Susie. Come on forward. Just say your name and address.
My name is Linda Jensen. I'm not sure if I can respond to another person. Well, you can direct it.
You can direct to the council and maybe counter if you feel something different, how you mean, you can say pretty much whatever you want during public comment. You can't address that person, but you can address us.
Well, I guess I would like to address the person that spoke tonight, Mr. Brian Whitman, and ask him. He had a very nice presentation here, but I would kind of like to ask him if he was the person that got up and showed the picture of the mayor's husband with a pile of shit on the bottom of the paper. I want to know if he is that person.
Well, you can ask him after the meeting, but you can address us and remind us of anything you want. And that's just the rules. You can't address him. You can address him on your own time out of the thing. But yeah, we're not gonna ever,
No,
yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say here is it's nice for people to get up and care about the community. But when I see some of the actions of certain individuals that come and do very derogative things, it's discouraging. And it doesn't really do a meeting very, it doesn't do much for it. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else? Not seeing anybody, we will move on. Let's see. We're going to move 5A, the charter review. Ed, are you ready?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Can you hear me adequately?
You're a little bit muffled, but we'll turn up the volume, Ed.
Let me see if I can get just a little closer, might help. Does this help?
Yes, and Ed Tromke is of Jordan Ramus is our city attorney.
Well, I was asked to prepare some changes to the city charter and have made some comments to it based on requests for these kinds of changes. But before we get into the substance of it, just a little bit about the procedure for amending or adopting a new charter. Ordinarily, a city charter is placed on the ballot and the people choose whether or not to adopt it. They don't get to pick one change or another. They would change. The way this is proposed is they would adopt the whole thing or remain under the current charter. It's adopted by city council and referred to the people by a resolution that says, please place this on the ballot. If the city council wants that done, then the manager and I will confer and fill out the proper forms that are required. They're dictated by the Secretary of State's office and filed with the county elections office. They have to be filed about the middle of February. So you have one more meeting to discuss it tonight. And if you do want to adopt something, it can be brought back at the next meeting and then referred at the next meeting. I haven't seen on the Secretary's website the exact date this year, but in the last 2 years, it was February 15th and 16th. So it is really the middle of the month. And typically what's referred is the ballot measure and an explanatory statement that would be presented to council if the council wants to present one and put that into the voters pamphlet. And those also have to be filed at about the same date. So there's time to do it, and now is the time to go over these things. So you should have in your packet a red line version of some proposed changes to the charter. And I'll just kind of quickly go through what they are. They're fairly self-explanatory, but if anybody has any questions, please interrupt and ask a question. Section 1 just changes it to a 2024 city charter. There's no change until you get down to 7, and in that one it says that it just clarifies that if there are vacancies on the council, then the councilors, the number is counted, but excluding the vacant people, and there is then a requirement that council members follow the rules adopted by resolution by the council, the rules of procedure. In section 8, talks about the mayor's authority. It grants a little bit of extra authority to the mayor to appoint an ad hoc committee without going to council for all of the changes. This allows things to happen perhaps between meetings and even at meetings. The mayor can find interested people and appoint them. Section 12 clarifies with quorum that this quorum is reduced when seats become vacant and stay vacant for the period of time that they are vacant. And section 13 builds in a better explanation. It says, except as provided in sections 33 and 17, the express concurrence of a majority of the council members present and constituting a quorum is necessary to decide affirmatively on a question. Ordinarily, the rules of procedure do allow legislative bodies to have a quorum at the beginning, and then if people leave, the quorum may go away, and unless there's a quorum call, votes can be taken and passed by a smaller minority of the people who remain present, as long as it's a majority of those present. So this requires that a quorum must be present in order to vote, or the number of people present must constitute a quorum if they're voting. So it just restricts council action from minority actions and keeps the majority in control. The next one is in section 27, disallows two family members who reside in the same household from serving on council at the same time. This is fairly common in a lot of city council or city charters and requirements of councils. It's not, it's not very radical thing to require. Then section 32 says that in addition to section 27, the qualifications of appointive officers are determined by city council. At this point in time, the city manager makes the determination of qualifications of appointive officers appointed by the manager, and this puts it back into the council. The big change here is section 33, which currently provides for a city manager and instead shifts that role to the city administrator. The big difference being that the administrator carries out the wishes of the council, while a manager has more discretion and authority to make maybe broader decisions, especially in hiring and firing of staff. In this particular case, the administrator doesn't have the right to hire and fire the city department heads. And after reflecting on this week, I spoke to the mayor this morning about this. I thought that it might be considered for council to talk about this anyway, is to put in that first paragraph, before the last sentence where it says council reserves the right to overrule the city administrator's designation, but to add a sentence there that says that the council may delegate appointment and replacement powers to the city administrator by a written resolution. That way, if you're comfortable with the way the administrator is acting, you can delegate that authority, take some of the political pressure off of you to get together and make decisions at special meetings for hiring and things like that. As long as you're comfortable with the way that the manager is managing things. Otherwise, most of the other duties of the administrator are very similar to what's currently in place for the manager, but more discretion is taken away and more accountability is placed on the elected officials to run the city based on what the people expect. And you can look through them line by line. I won't go through them. In section 34, though, as to the city attorney, I thought I've always put this in when I've had the opportunity, that the city attorney can be removed with or without cause. There's no right to hold the office. The city attorney should serve at the pleasure and discretion of council. Section 35, there's a new one in there, but it should be renumbered 36. I saw that when I was looking at the clean version. There are two 35s. The second one is other officers, should be renumbered 36. And it just describes the municipal judge, recorder, and then it says that the city council can create such other officers as council deems necessary. It gives the council flexibility to appoint people to specific jobs as they may be needed, or may just be convenient in terms of how council wants the city run. It's just for flexibility. And then the last one is the 41, the time of taking effect is as provided by state law. Typically, that's 30 days after the election is held, and the election results have to be what's called proclaimed under the election laws by the city election official within 30 days. So it would take effect after the proclamation. I'll be happy to answer questions if you've got any.
Well, I just like a clarification. Do any of these changes give the mayor more power, Ed?
Yeah, one does, and that's that appointment of ad hoc committees. It's a
So
small.
I already hold that.
It's a small increase in discretion. And council can always say they don't agree with it tonight and say it should be stricken if they're going to consider sending it to the ballot.
That I'm in no way in charge, can pick what I want to do and do whatever the mayor wants, right? Just put it in layman's term, I'm not that powerful.
No, it's, power still resides in the council.
Council, do you have any questions for Ed?
I have no questions for that.
I have one question, John Harvey. The part on section 12 on the quorum. So as if I read that right, the quorum is to be adjusted to a new majority of seats become and remain vacant. So that means if you have, say, one spot left, that means the quorum then becomes 4, or if a spot is vacated.
Yes, if you have 7 now, then 4. If you had 6, it would be, it still has to be 4 to be a quorum. It isn't until you get down to 5 where you end up with 3 as the quorum, because it has to be a majority, it has to be more than 50% of the voting members of the council. So, the number only goes down so long as the seats remain vacant. Right.
Okay, thank you.
Rob Jr., you got any questions? So, thank you, Ed. I will say that this will put the power back into the people's hands. We've been operating under a strong administrative government. And this would change it to be more scaled to a small city such as Hubbard, where much of this comes from. And they run really, really well. The mayor gets no more power. The council still votes. What it would do is it would take away the hire, fire, human resources in one person. It gives the employees no outlet at that point to have any help if they needed it above that, really. So it would put that check and balance back in. It would also give the council oversight on administrative costs that rise. It gives us more choices, and really, I think the charter might have been okay if it hadn't been interpreted the way it was. So I think we just need to make it real clear. I'm satisfied with the changes, and I would like to take it to the voter. Can I get a motion, or is there anything else, like Eric was asking about that one part? Put in another sentence into that. Did you want to have him do that, or?
Yeah, I'm for it, and I'll make a motion that we accept the proposal from our attorney as he had just stated to us. Put on the May ballot.
But we would have him make that alteration and add in that lingo.
Yes, I can make that alteration and bring it back, and I'll work with the city manager to put together the Secretary of State's forms together with a resolution for the next meeting for consideration by the council. And in the meantime, if the voters do or don't like it, they can confer with each of you individually, and you can all make your own decisions and vote on it up or down at the next meeting. But it does sound like there's at least a consensus to bring it back at the next meeting, so we'll do that.
I second it.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Can I get all in favor, say aye?
Aye.
Junior? Aye, nay. It's unanimous. All in favor said aye. The motion carries, so moved. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
being
Madam.
here, Ed.
I will depart then, and my wife thanks you so that I can go home and see her for dinner. Thanks very,
Good night, Ed. Thanks for all your help.
good night.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent, or no, that became 10, Michael. So we'll do the committee report next. Or I guess, do I have to do 10B? Oh, let's see. We moved 10, so we got to handle that. We wanted to look at dates for the 2024 annual citywide cleanup. I put some dates on there, Saturday, 4/20, 4/27, or 5/4. Can we get a consensus for the date? Council, in looking in those 3 dates, because if I could get 2 actually, because we're gonna meet with the new representative. So Joel likes the 27th. I'm sorry, April 20th, April 27th, or May 4th. The reason I picked around those dates is because it's Earth Day on the 22nd, I believe, and so that's usually about the time we do it. So the 27th for Joel, that works for me too.
Yeah, the 27th works for me. I'd stay away from the date 4/20 myself.
I like that date.
It's legal, right? So Michael and Joel, I like it. Robbie? Okay, Junior?
Yeah.
Okay, John?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a consensus. We will ask Roger when we meet with her, the lady we had the meeting with, when we meet, she's gonna come in February and talk to us and introduce herself, and we'll go ahead and present those dates at that next council meeting. Okay. So thank you, and moving on, the next thing we would need to do is to discuss, we need to set a date for a workshop on the water rate increases for 2024. As you all know, they're scheduled to be increased until the year 2035. They have been picked on a CPI index that was picked by month, not by average. So I think we need to look at that because it's been $96 roughly over the last 2 years. Maybe we can do a little better or see about that. So what date would you like, council? I'm open. You know, we need to get on that pretty soon, right?
Yes.
So I'm thinking February. You guys can pick a date in February or a couple dates that we could talk about, but we do need to move on it.
How about February 22nd?
They'll do February 22nd.
Believe me, we got some stuff. February 22nd. Junior?
That one.
So everybody, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay, and what day of the week is that?
Thursday,
Thursday.
Thursday.
So we have dates. Now we'll go back to where 5 was, which was consent calendar. Approval of the minutes for December 7th, 2023 regular session and bills list for December 23rd. Is there any questions on those? Bringing you ask for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Okay, I'll make that motion to approve. For the December 7th regular session and the bills for December.
A second.
Okay, I think, I'm sorry to stop you. We need to have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented on January 4th, 2024.
And can I just add to what the mayor just said? A motion to approve the consent calendar for the December 7th regular session and the sounds good, as said.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? Not seeing any. All in favor, say aye. The motion carries, so moved. Then we're going to move to committee report. December 7th, 2023 ordinance meeting. Mr. Lampier. For those of you that don't know, Mr. Lampier is heading up our ordinance oversight committee.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and city staff. There hasn't been a lot of movement due to the holidays. I kind of gave the members a break over the holidays, but we did meet with the city manager pro tem about the procedure and the flow of complaints that are received by the city, how they will initially be handled by contact by what agency, be it the maintenance department or police department or a committee staff member themselves, and then moves onward and upward towards there as a progressive disciplinary action towards the abatement process. So that's moving forward. I just had a meeting with them again today, and we have one scheduled for Friday with Councilman Harvey and myself and City Manager Pro Tem to finalize the flow of the complaint process through the city. So that's pretty much all I have right now. We're still new in this committee, so given it was formed just before the holiday, and then over the holiday, like I said, I give committee members a chance to enjoy their time with their family members. And we'll go ahead hard in the new year.
Thank you for your volunteerism.
Thank you very much, members, staff members, and city council.
Did council have any question for him? I should have asked that. I'm sorry. No, I'm good. So moving on. We don't have any presentations this evening, no public hearings. The old business is the budget committee update and how to proceed with the applicant selection. This year, we have decided to change our budgeting process. We're going to be reviewing how we did it in the past and see if we can have some trainings brought in for everyone. We've gotten some applications. We've gotten more than we need. So we're reviewing those. Those are up here tonight for everyone, and they're private because they're private. For me, I want more information about it because we have such a we have such a choice to make that I think some of it's pretty vague. I'd like to go to like a step 2 process because we got really good, all applicants are fine. It's just, I want to know what they could bring to the table, maybe. Is that appropriate? There's not a lot of information here on this big thing. We're going to have to sit down with each one and figure out about when, as we move forward, because we are going to do trainings. We're going to do more meetings as a group. We're going to work with our city manager pro tem and work a budget together. Once we find out where our finances truly stand. So it's down the road a little, but it is coming. So what do you think about like maybe getting a small committee together to talk to the applicants about things and maybe do a little vetting?
I'm good with that.
A consensus that that's how we'll proceed.
Yes, for me.
Yes, for me.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, that's unanimous consensus. We'll proceed with maybe a no questionnaire and a little bit of vetting, and then maybe next meeting we can put together a couple of council members Would that work? That can do that? Or do you want to do that tonight? To decide who might be the ones to do that?
You can do it that way or however you want, but yeah, yes, we're gonna need to do that.
I don't know, Robbie, do you want to be on the committee for this? Okay, there's one. John, Michael? Hello? Well, we got two new ones, so does an old guy want to come on? One of our older.
Well, I'm nominating Michael.
Okay,
We got John for the older.
but no, being all serious, we need
Better
to,
looking.
it would be, okay, so we'll do, John and Rob. You're it. So to the people that are here that applied, thank you so much. It's appreciated. And we look forward to having them visit with you and get a little more information about you and your desire and what you bring to the table. Okay? Thank you.
On the 8th or February 27th.
Oh, no, we didn't. Good job.
I say February 22nd at 6 p.m. 5:30 if anybody really could do it, because our staff, they're getting tired. Would anybody be objective to that workshop? It's actually a workshop that we'll be calling. Water, can we do it at 5:30? Yeah, let's get our staff out of here early. Let's not keep them so late. So 5:30 p.m. on February 22nd, we're that workshop. Bill increases. We will now move on to staff reports, and we will start with our police department, Lieutenant West.
Thank you. I'd like to start with the calls for service at 123. No arrest. We have cite in lieu of arrest on some things. We had citable offenses, 38, 24 written warnings, 2 agency assist and 4 outside agency assist. I'd also like to move to talk about the Christmas parade. I'd like to take this time to speak about the Jervis Christmas parade. This was a very special event for all of us, at the Jervis Police Department. We enjoyed seeing all of the citizens and especially seeing the smiles on all the young children's faces. We received many compliments on our participation in the event and several words of encouragement and gratitude. I would also like to thank the Mount Angel Police Department, Marion County Sheriff's Office, and Hubbard Police Department for sending officers over to assist us with traffic control and the parade route. Not only did these officers help us to help put a great safe event, but they also enjoyed themselves while doing so. Some of you probably saw some of the officers. They were really getting into the event. Without the help from our local partnering agencies, we would have not been able to provide such a high level of safety for the parade participants and spectators. Special thanks to Woodburn Fire Department for being involved in the parade. Knowing they were here and present gave us extra confidence that we could handle any situation that might arise. I'd like to move down to the officer acknowledgements. Please join me in sharing our gratitude for all the positive things Officer Camacho has been doing lately, or since he's been here. While working for the city of Jervis, Officer Camacho's second anniversary working for Jervis was on November 22nd. Officer Camacho joined us 2 years ago as a certified police officer and has been a welcome addition to the Jervis Police Department. Officer Camacho is currently the student success officer here in Jervis. I've seen firsthand that the students and staff of the school respect and enjoy having Officer Camacho in their schools. I would also like to thank Officer Kathy Dryden, who will be celebrating her second anniversary working for the city of Jervis in January of this year, the 27th. Officer Dryden started her career in law enforcement in Jervis. She has since graduated from the Oregon Department of Public Safety and Standards I've enjoyed watching Officer Dryden grow as an officer during her training. Officer Dryden has a passion for working with children and serving this community. Officer Dryden has been a positive and welcome addition to the Jervis Police Department. I look forward to watching her continue to grow as a police officer at the city of Jervis. And as always, I am grateful and lucky to have Senior Officer Dan Marshall and Police Administrative Assistant Crystal Camacho. There can't be enough said about how valuable they are for this department. Both Senior Officer Marshall and Crystal Camacho are always willing to do the extra needed to provide the best service possible. Staff of the Jervis Police Department want to express our gratitude for the opportunity to serve the community.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Thank you. Thank you for doing such a wonderful job. It's really nice to see everybody come together like that. Thank you. Officer Camacho is the soccer coach and he's the girls basketball coach now too. So he's going above and beyond for our community. Just to throw that in there. It's really nice. We'll move to Public Works. Roger, did you want to go over any of it or it's in our packet? Maybe read it.
I believe it's in the packet, yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna just read it because Kyle has gone on vacation. Is that okay? So it says, with the bid for the wastewater treatment plant improvement awarded last month, we are eager to get started on construction. I do not have a timeline yet for the project, but hope to get more information from pre-construction meeting. During December, the transfer pumps experienced another issue. This time it was electrical in nature. Fortunately, we had the spare parts on hand to repair it and get it running within a day. These pumps will be replaced with a project with the customizable type design that is far more efficient and reliable, requiring less maintenance. The 2006 Ford F-150 service truck had been experiencing some mechanical issues that came to a point that further damage would result from neglecting it. After receiving an estimate, Roger and I discussed options and it was decided to have repairs made. The truck has a little over 30,000 miles on it and otherwise been very reliable. The repairs were costly and total just under $3,400. At this time, all 3 service trucks are in good shape and ready for any type of service demanded on them. We are always looking for ways to operate more efficiently to save either time, money, or both. Our chemical supplier has a program that saves on every gallon of sodium hypochlorite chlorine that is used for water and wastewater disinfectant. If a minimum amount is purchased at a time, they will supply the storage tanks at no cost, and by doing this, we should see over $1,000 in savings annually between fewer delivery charges and discounts. Wow. The City Hall generator has been experiencing some reliability problems this month, including multiple low pressure codes causing it to shut down during its weekly auto run cycle. The company who sold and installed it will be coming out on the 29th of December to diagnose this issue. This is not the first reliability issue we have had with this unit. I will be taking it a step further and contacting the manufacturer as we notice foam inside the top of the engine as well. The unit has less than 9 hours on it and has had multiple issues running shortly after installation. This should all be covered under the warranty. The parade and tree lighting held on the 8th went very well. I would like to thank Lieutenant Tim West for organizing the traffic team that came to assist. I would also like to thank all the employees, spouses, and children that helped put together the floats for Public Works. The parade was a success and great for the community. Kyle Jentz, Jervis Public Works. I just like to comment and say Kyle is just an amazing guy. He is moving mountains and finding all kinds of resourceful things for our department. He's identifying needs real well, and his communication is just wonderful. Enjoying working with him. Council, you have anything?
I agree. You've been doing a great job.
I agree.
All of our employees are. And now we'll move to our City Manager Pro Tem Roger Brown, for those of you who have not met Roger. He is actually our city recorder slash interim pro tem city manager at this point. Go ahead, Raj.
Evening, everyone. Pleasure to be with you here tonight. Good. Proud and happy to announce that Laura is going to join us full-time starting tomorrow. And from what we've seen so far, she's done a great job and look forward for that continuing. A lot of things have gone on in the last month. We've gotten PERS fixed. All the files have been uploaded. The invoice will be issued by PERS tomorrow, and the upload for the ACH transfer for the 6 months that we put in here recently will be done on or about the 12th. So we will be caught up there. The December PERS will be done after we finish an audit of all of the employees' payroll records. We have some discrepancies that we need to fix, and we don't want to have any W-2 discrepancies by not fixing those. That work will be done about mid-month. We've brought in a CPA. Her name is Sarah Johnson. She comes highly recommended. Started on Wednesday. We executed a contract and provided a retainer. She's already been on site and was not here today. She was ill, but plans on being back on site tomorrow. The first thing she's going to be doing is looking at all of the payroll records and making sure that we are 100% accurate. And I think it's a good idea to have a third set of eyes, or I call it a third set of eyes on this. She's very knowledgeable. She's done a project like this for Hood River County. I went to help them do a reorganization. But a lot of their finance people left all at the same time and kind of left them in a lurch, and she helped get them organized and got the job done. She becomes very highly recommended by an accounting firm called Aldrich Advisors. They're a West Coast regional CPA firm. They have offices starting in Anchorage, Alaska, and ending in San Diego. They have about 300 CPAs on staff. Speaking of CPAs, we're going to be visited by our auditors for our annual audit. They will be on site starting Monday at 8:30 in the morning. They'll be here a couple of days doing their field work. We have another audit happening, which is a CGIS audit, and they're going to be here at 11:15 on Monday morning. So I'm going to be busy running back and forth between auditors for a couple of days. Let's see. One thing that has become clear is that there are not a lot of written down operating procedures, things that we really need to have as a city. One of the things is the building permit process. There's no real solid procedure. So we're going to develop one with the help of Marion County. Already talked with them. They're going to give us kind of a roadmap, and we're going to adapt that to our processes here. And that process Laura's going to help with that starting about middle of next week, after she gets her feet under the desk a little bit. And talking about procedures, I've been looking for a document that gives me an idea of what internal accounting controls have been put in place. I can't find one. So I'm in the midst of writing one. Internal controls are meant for two things. They help protect the assets of the city by segregating duties and responsibilities, and they protect the people that are doing the actual work. It gives them a guideline of what they can and can't do. Along with that, I'm going to call it a matrix change. We're going to enhance within our accounting system who gets to do what. We're going to reassign some rights and have some accountability that we haven't really had. It's high time to do that. And so I've started a document here. I'm not done with it yet. As soon as I am, I will pass it along to the council for their review. One thing that we are going to do. Well, I don't need to look at the email, I already know. We're going to start training with our software company, our supplier. We're gonna do cross-training in payroll, accounts payable, utility billing, and court docketing. We need to have everybody in the city business office understand these functions, how to do them. If someone is sick or takes a vacation, we can't miss a beat. We gotta be on the ball. So that's what I've been working on here. You know, if you turn over a rock, you're gonna find another rock to turn over. And I'm now working on the second dump truck load. So at any rate, that's my report, and happy to be here. Thank you.
Roger, thank you. I've been working really close with Roger Council, and we have had some things go on where I've had to visit the bank to help get the rights put into the right hands. We've accomplished that. Our ACH transfer money had been placed in a hand that wasn't even administrative. Don't know how that happened yet, but it has been corrected. We are looking into the credit cards because there's some issues there that we need to get administrative rights put to the administrators. The correct ones are still here. Roger, the payroll, you know what happened? I mean, that's in, Sarah will be handling that, correct? When did that start? Do you know?
Those issues have been ongoing since July. We've traced it back to that time period that it started, and it has continued in various levels of severity from that point. And that's what Sarah Johnson is going to be helping us with.
Any questions, council, about things?
No, I'm glad that we have the auditor here. We need to get this under control.
Well, it will give us a start. We were left without any standard operating procedures. We weren't, things didn't get handed over. I wish we had gone to the tax service, but we didn't. So what we need to do is what we're doing right now. We brought in a professional to fix things and let us know what happened, right? So I just want the community to know there was some errors. We're fixing it. And actually, we're actually in a good spot. Hers hadn't been paid or reported for 7 months, was it? Hadn't been done. Bank reconciliations and closings had not been done. So now those things will be done and we're moving up. When Sarah Johnson leaves here, we have been assured that the new staff will be trained to handle all things. So I'm feeling confident, council. Roger, thank you. You've pointed out the problems and you have got right on it. Thank you for fixing those things today.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Good job. Do you have anything to add? Okay. Laura, I'd like to welcome you. You were amongst 6 applicants and you met the requirements. Your references were stellar and the council decided on you for those reasons. Thank you and welcome to Jervis City Hall. Go ahead, Mom.
I was just wondering if there's any comment.
Oh, we're not to the mayor's thing yet, but okay. We were on staff reports. I was gonna kudo you, Mama. No, so mayor comments and councils, my mayor comments to you are, I think that's a wonderful idea. There's a lot of people that have lived here and their whole lives were here and we need to remember them. They are history. I think it's a wonderful project and we do have a live tree option because of Arbor Day funds that we can use. Council, do you think that would be something we'd like to do?
No, yeah, I mean, like a live tree that we have there that has a root ball on it, so after the December, when we take it down, we can go plant it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
We'll be looking for community volunteers that like to do things, so keep us in mind. Those ad hocs, I'll be appointing one for this.
When it comes to the ornaments on the tree, are we able to just like bring our ornament with our person and whatever? I don't know, you said there's a small brass tag. Is that the name? I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with that.
I think that the people who would like to honor their loved ones will bring the ornament. I think the city should have the tag to put on there, it said in remembrance of. In memory of.
So it'd be like collaborative. They bring an ornament that represents their loved one, and then we give a tag with their name on it. Is that what you think? Oh, okay.
So they would bring it to the city.
Okay.
I don't believe those tags would be very costly.
No, I think we can swing it. In fact, we might get them donated.
Oh, yeah. I think we probably did.
I just wondered if I, brought my ornament down, if I'd be able to hang it on the tree myself, or if I have to give it to somebody to hang on the tree.
How about the city?
We could have a decorating party with those that want to join. Collect them and then maybe have the kids hang them.
Yeah. Myself, I would prefer that they would hang their own. That's what
Lovely idea.
Are we gonna have some kind of donations for that? To help, I don't know, help for the next year's parade or following year?
When you say donations, what do you mean, Junior? I mean,
Get donations for the following year. We do it this year. Well, we get donations, we can put that into the Christmas fund for either the parade or something else for Christmas.
well, the other agency volunteered their time. Ours are already on duty, so it would be more like the permit cost. And maybe we could do, like, I donated the hot chocolate this year, and the cups. John and Linda gave her stuff for the bags. My mom bought pencils and that, so pretty much we run on donated, but yeah, we could put a thing together where we could build for it. I mean, would you like to head that up, Junior?
That'd be a good chance to, alleviate some of the costs.
Well, a lot of the council is the one that, do it. We always have Mega Foods, oranges from them, and Safeway gave us candy. So, yeah, if you'd like to head that up, that'd be great. All right. Maybe we can start talking about it in like June or July. Okay, I'll remember that. Council, anybody else?
I'm good.
Oh, Rob has something, remember? He was talking about going to a conference. What was the cost on that, 175?
No.
125, and it was a day thing. And it was, and you're willing to go and represent Jervis for that? Wonderful. He went to the last one and brought back all kinds of information that he gleaned, and it was very resourceful, actually. Roger, can we look at the budget and see if there's $125 that's available for trainings for council? We still have some left. I don't think we've used any of our own, except mine, but I had most of them going for that.
Well, we could certainly take a look, and I don't think it's gonna be fairly difficult to find $125.
What's up?
When was that?
February 3rd.
Would any other council like to go? It's a luncheon.
Where is it?
It's in Portland. It's at the the Hayden Drive in Portland.
Yeah, and the House, the reps will be there. My friend Kim Thatcher, Senator Thatcher will be there. I seen her on there. Some other ones from both sides of the aisle. Might be a good way to get into Nelson County folks and see about our roads. Network a little bit.
Only one.
No, there's there's senators.
No, I mean,
No, if you wanna go, go. You wanna go, Junior?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to get Junior going too. Anybody else? Okay, all right. I might go, but I think I'll just pay my own, ticket if I do, because I'm gonna be a late entry. My son's having surgery, so. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's look into it, and I think we'll do it there, Rob, but maybe there's 4 of us going. All right, Joelle, you wanna try it? Wanna go? You're taking a rain check, okay. All right, well, with that being said, I think, this meeting now adjourned at 8:09. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you so much.
When you read the comment.
Well, I know that was a fringe community.
Fringe.